The last part of this is stage 5, merging data into a page layout. Personalized printing uses data to produce layouts targeting a specific region, a demographic group, or even individual person. A national company might create a single weekly sale ad with one page that varies according to local distribution. Why, for example, would a company want to advertise snow shovels in Southern California, for instance? Okay, so it's not uncommon for them to do this. Also, most of you who have been through Microsoft Word have dealt with word merge doing letters there, and you're going to find this very similar. You use comma delimited files generally generated from Excel spreadsheets. So anyway, let's continue on here. The data merge is a fairly sophisticated utility in most word processing applications. It allows you to combine text with information stored in a database or a spreadsheet, such as Microsoft Excel. Through a data merge, you can write one letter, click a few buttons, and point or export multiple copies of the letter, each with different mailing addresses, for example. InDesign data merge capabilities can be used for this type of personal letter generation, and with a bit of advanced planning, it can also be used for more sophisticated data-driven layouts, such as catalogs with graphics. InDesign data merge features makes it very simple to create a layout incorporating variable data. Once the data source file has been established, you can create any layout you want. Add the data and create multiple versions of the finished layout in one action. For the final stage of this project, you will create a thank you note from the publisher to previous clients. This note will be included in the print copies of the excerpts books when the sample is mailed to the clients. The publisher provided a comma delimited file with the client's mailing address. This file also identifies which book each client purchased. Okay, so we're going to get started on that. Now, the very first thing that we are going to need to do is bring in the letter. So we're going to go up to File, Open, go to our Excerpts folder, and you're not going to see it right off the beginning. You're going to have to go down, and at the right-hand side, you're going to have to change to All Files in order to be able to see it. And you are going to grab the letter INDD and open it up. And you will notice that this letter has in capital letters, insert name and address here, insert date here, insert name here, and then insert book name down here, all in capital letters. Those are the areas that we are going to be changing and making personalized to each individual. So let's talk about creating the merge document and loading the source data. The target document for data merge needs to include placeholders or locations where the data will appear after the data merge is complete. Once you have established the data source for the InDesign file, you can easily create these placeholders anywhere in the document. So with this open, you can see that your client wrote the letter using her InDesign letterhead template. She used all capital letters to indicate where she wants the database information to be placed in the letter itself. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go up to Window. We are going to go Utilities, and we are going to click on Data Merge, which is going to bring up the Data Merge panel. Okay, and so the first thing we're going to do with Data Merge Open is we're going to go up to the hamburger, and we're going to select the data source. And again, it's going to open up our excerpts area, and if you can't see it, just go to All Readable Files in the far right-hand corner and change it to All Readable Files. Then you can select the customer.txt and click Open. And you'll see what it does is it opens and gives you all what these are that you're looking at on the data merges. These are the description boxes that were originally at the top of each one of the Excel spreadsheet types of data. So first name, last name, phone number, street address, city, state, and so on. And so those were imported along with the actual data. And those are what we are going to use to apply to the letter in order to create the document set up the way that we want. Okay, the second thing we want to do is we want to go up to type, go clear down to the bottom and show hidden characters so we can see where the returns are and where the spaces are. The first thing we are going to do next is we're going to highlight the first line in the letter excluding the paragraph returns. So let's take and blow this up so you can see what I'm doing on my screen. Okay, I'm going to start right at the E and go up through the word insert like so. And then I'm going to go inside of data merge and double click first name. Okay, now the next, you'll notice that when I click off of it, I have a blinking cursor right after first name. I need to put a space in between the first name and the last name, so I'm going to hit the space bar. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click the last name, like so. Oops, I did it twice, so I will take one of them out. There we go. So we have first name, space, last name. Then what I'm going to do is hit the enter key. And what I want to put in next is street address. Then I'm going to hit the whoops, I shouldn't have done that, so I'm going to edit undo. Okay, I will click there so it doesn't do that, and then hit enter. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click city. Now I need to put in a comma because it won't put one in for me, and a space. And then I'm going to put in state, and then space. And then I'm going to double click and put in zip code. Now, the next thing I want to do is notice how it says insert first name here. So I'm going to go down and highlight the insert first name. Make sure I leave the space there and go back up and double click just first name to put in first name there. Then I'm going to notice how it says insert book name here. I'm going to highlight insert book name here. I'm going to scroll down this list, and where it says last purchase, I'm going to double click and put in last purchase. Now I still have one more thing to do. I'm going to, where it says insert date here, I'm going to put in today's date. So 05/01/2020. And then I'm going to do a Control S to save my work. Okay, so what I have done is I have used a comma delimited that was exported from, probably my guess, Microsoft Excel. I have put in all the pertinent information from the titles that were in that Excel spreadsheet that were included in the data merge to where I have it all set up. I have made sure I put in punctuations and spaces where necessary, and then I saved my work. So our next step now is to complete the merged document on page 531. Once you have created your target document and formatted all the elements, you can preview the data and create the merged document. Indesign uses the data source file and the target layout to create a third document, the merged file. This third file is not linked to the data source. Any changes you make in the data are not applied to the merged document. If you change the data file, you have to repeat the merge process of the original layout file with the changed data. So with this letter open, we're going to activate the preview checkbox at the bottom of the data merge panel. So at the bottom of the data merge panel, you'll see a preview checkbox, and as soon as I click that, you will notice that it actually changes to a person's name, okay, the book that they purchased, which was Adobe Photoshop CC, and actually shows you everything that will be in, how that everything in that letter is placed. Our next step is to go up to the hamburger in the data merge area, and what we're going to do is export to PDF. And what you're going to see is it shows records, and it says records to merge, and we're going to do all records, and we're going to show them as single, and we're going to click OK, and it's going to open up the export PDF dialog box, and we're going to make sure that we have high quality print selected, and we're also going to make sure that we have view PDF after exporting checked, and then we're going to click export, and when it opens up to our folder, we're going to click save. Okay, and it's going to generate the PDF. As said, there was no text, and then take a look. Here they are. All you need to do is print out this. This is each and every letter that would need to be included, okay, from the database, and each of them individually has their address, their name, their last purchase, all ready to go. And that's what it takes to create the data merge. So review the resulting PDF. And once you've done that, you can click close, and that finishes it. Now, one thing I would like you to do is there's a whole bunch more about working with data merge, starting on page 534 through 535. So take time to read through those completely, because that will give you a lot more powerful tools than what we've just addressed, because there is other ways you can do data merge as well. And then please do your project review on page 536 and your portfolio builder project on page 537. That completes project 8 as far as the classwork goes. I just want you guys to know how precious you are, each and every one of you are to me, and how I'm so glad that you stuck with this class and are able to finish it. So thank you so much. You guys are the best.